Hey guys, and welcome to Petrol Ped, and welcome to episode 4 of my dream garage build. Guess what? I am stood upstairs in my garage for the very first time. Now, it's actually only a day since I finished filming episode 3, but a lot has happened today. Now I'm going to start this video here. Look at that. That's the upstairs office and gym. Now, these big beams won't be there. You'll be able to walk all the way through. But it's such a big space. Clearly, with the way that the roof goes, we're going to lose a little bit to the edges, but we're going to have that as under-eave storage. But the guys have put this plywood down. Now, this plywood, we've covered it in plastic just in case it rains, and then there will be a bird cage built on this to help them get access to put the ridge pole in and to build the roof properly. And then this plywood will actually go onto the walls downstairs and proper floorboarding will be put up here. But let me spin the camera around. So this is where my new desk is going to go, and I'll have a Velux window just here, and that will be the view outside, and you can you'll be able to see people coming in and out. That's really, really cool. And then we spin round here, and then this is the view outside, and again we'll have a big Velux here getting the views on the outside. Just so exciting. Now, a couple of people have said, why didn't we punch out here and so on, and looking at it now, oh wow, I wish we would have been able to do that, to be able to have maybe a door there and a decking area and make the most of that garden would have been amazing. But unfortunately, we're in the South Downs National Park, and there was just no way that was going to get through planning. We had enough trouble getting an extra Velux put in, put it that way. And we're also not allowed to have what's called a Juliet balcony. So Velux do these really cool windows that open up basically into a balcony. Couldn't have one of those either. But it does give a sense of perspective when I'm stood up here, finally, just to be able to see. Now, these beautiful old timbers here, these are going to go. They've actually started to remove the roof today. You'll start to see some of the roof beams being taken out. All of this roof is coming off. And then what they'll do is they'll basically prepare the very top part here for the new roof, which is going to be, I think the roof has come in a couple of weeks' time. These members here, these are going to go. But what we hope to do is basically take them and kind of move them up and put them across the top there, or some kind of feature that keeps that kind of style, but we can't have them because clearly otherwise, as I'm walking along here, that's at kind of hip height. So to get over these, I'm just going to do it all in one, I have to kind of climb over them, make sure I don't die and fall over at the same time. So clearly that's not happening. So these are going to have to go. And then also you can start to see there'll be eave storage here, and they're starting to put the very front on. So why don't we wander downstairs and we can take a look at what's happened from the downstairs. But this is super exciting. But before I go downstairs, the two girls are very, very interested in what's happening. Basically, they're like, what is going on? Where's all this wood coming from? Where are all these tiles coming from? I want to go upstairs with you, Daddy. You can now see the side of the roof that's been taken off. There's a huge amount of work that needs to be taken place on the top, where the top of the brick course meets the roof. Not just in terms of making good the bricks, because obviously they've been there a long time and they need remortaring and all that kind of stuff. But the really big thing is just to get the levels right, because the levels at the moment are way out. So the roof needs to be square, and that's the next big job. So as soon as all of these main timbers come out and the roof is removed, the guys can get on with making things square. Come on in. You coming down? Come on. Oh, you suddenly got a spurt of energy. What? People want more puppies in the videos, apparently. Oh, really? And where are you? There she is. So, put some Petrol Ped stickers on my car today. Legacy Legends, if you want your Petrol Ped stickers, shameless plug. So, let's have a quick look from the downstairs angle, because lots and lots has happened Although it doesn't look like much has happened, but actually when you delve into the detail, it really has. So the big thing, first of all, is we started to get the timbers on the very front, that front timber just there, and then these main down timbers here. So this brick pier, in between those two wooden stakes, there's going to be a steel going in there, and there's also going to be one running at the far end there, and then a steel going across the front to hold the front on. So we're basically, this is all prep work for the steels that arrive tomorrow, actually. They're not quite as big as the massive ones that we had there. And then the other thing that started today is Sean, the electrician's on site now. You can start to see maybe a little bit of work there, drilling things out. We've started to get the first fix stuff done. Lots and lots of you had basically asked about electric points. And the simple thing is I'm putting a lot in. So in my bike store, which is in here, I've got lots of points going in there. I think there's 4 going in there. 4 going in over there for things like charging bikes. These ones are super useful. And then again in here, down below here, there we go. I think we've got lots in there, because the idea here is I'm going to have some shelving in there. But again, you always need to be able to charge stuff up, whether that's drills or whatever. And then the other thing that happened today is I won't steal its thunder, but I'm working with my mate Martin from Hexagon Lights on something very special from a lighting point of view and from a flooring point of view. So these walls are going to be lovely white plasterboard walls, and I'm going to look at maybe getting some really cool artwork, maybe hanging my bikes on there, but I really want this to be very special from a lighting point of view, because this space here is just the perfect podcast space. We could set up here and have that view for the podcast. So I think that'd be really, really cool. So we've started to plan that out. So stay tuned to my dream garage build for that. And then the last thing around here, status update. Not a great deal has happened in here at first sight, apart from the fact, again, first fix electric points are going in. And obviously because you've got the flooring in there, it's a little bit dark in here now. But yeah, very, very cool. So big thing tomorrow is steel work, and I can't wait to start seeing that come in. More roof will be taken off, but yeah, it's so exciting to be able to stand up upstairs. Is just very, very cool. Now then, this is exciting because we have steels being delivered. I'm actually here to take some video of this one. So these are the steels for the roof, the ridge beam, and they're not quite as bad in terms of weight as the other ones. They're still bloody heavy, but yeah, they're actually man portable. They've been cut into sections so that they're a little bit more, we can deal with them a little bit more easily. They'll kind of sit there. But yes, steel work has arrived. And then if we just wander up here to see the boys at work today, more roof coming off, more carpentry going on. Great view from up here. Yeah, a busy hive of activity. There's Foreman Paul checking out all the drawings, trying to work out where things are going. He's the magician that's basically putting this together. He's like, yeah, I think they're the steels. Awesome. Oh wow. Much progress has been made today. There's a big pile of wood on the garden, and ready, 3, 2, 1. The roof's gone. I mean, we've seriously, the roof has been removed. There's no messing around with these lads, you know. There was a roof on this morning, it's all gone now. Just the main big truss is left. A few bits. You take me roof off, boys.
Sorry.
Is it too late to change my mind? Can we put it back on? Wow. Zero roof. That's quite scary. Now then, a lot has changed. This could be my last update before I go away for 3 or 4 days. I'm off to Le Mans this afternoon. but I wanted to show you the latest state of play because the roof's now pretty much completely off. All we're doing, the last thing we're doing, the boys are just taking off that front member. One of the things we have found out is all the timbers are really badly rotten and lots of woodworm, so we just couldn't have used those at all. But the big challenge we found this morning is this wall, which was supporting the roof. And you might be able to see, if I just kind of hold the camera like that, you'll be able to see it's kind of bowing out and moving. And what that basically means is, we kind of knew we'd have to do a bit of work to this, but there's an extensive amount of remedial work that needs to happen to this wall. The top course of bricks is going to have to come off. Underneath there's flinting and lime mortar that needs sorting. And again, the top course of these bricks, I mean, look, that's literally, there's no, it's like a dry stone wall. Which is not to be unexpected, but I think the remedial works are more than the boys had thought they might have to do. But we need to make that true and good. And there will be a steel that goes along the back here that supports the roof and one across the front anyway. So that will help support the main roof. But yeah, it's a pretty dramatic scene now. We have literally no roof in place at all. And once that front timber goes, yeah, so there you go. Now I am now off and away for the next few days, so I think the next time we see the build, well, I don't know really. There's lots of things happening. They're not quite so visible. I mean, the most dramatic thing obviously is the roof's gone now, but the next big thing, we've got 2 weeks until the roofers come to rebuild the roof, so they need to get all of that true. There's all the remedial work that needs to take place on that wall. In fact, from this angle, you can see it quite well. You can kind of see the trouble on the top there. So, plenty of work. So, tune in. Well, I'll be with you in a few days' time. I'm off to Le Mans. So, a few days have passed. I got back from Le Mans yesterday. I've been very busy today. Jobs today included getting the Porsche ready for going away tomorrow, because tomorrow I head to the Pyrenees with GT Tours with Lady P and a very good friend of mine, Dan, for some fun in the Pyrenees. We're going to the Spanish Grand Prix. We've got a track day at Pau. It's going to be very, very special, and Lady P is looking forward to it very much. However, oh wow. So an awful lot has happened since I left last Wednesday, so nearly a week, I guess 4 or 5 working days for the boys. Let me walk you around where we are, the state of play, because we're ready for the next really big thing. Now, the last time I spoke to you on camera, we discovered a few issues with the wall at the back of the barn. We've sorted that, but let me walk you through what we've got happening. So, I also want to come back on a couple of questions from episode 3, which went up on the internet last night as I speak. Lots of positive feedback, a few questions as well. A few people wondering why the kitchen is so big and why we haven't used it as a car park space. I think we've cleared that one. We wanted a nice space here. We're going to put a nice wine cellar in here, and it's just going to be a nice, cool, chill out place. But the front of it is on, and the carpenter that is going to make the stairs is also going to make us a nice front door, which will go in that hole just there. So that aspect probably hasn't changed a great deal, but a big change that has happened since the last time I was home, we now have steels on those piers, and we also have a cross member of steel across the top, which I'll show you probably from upstairs. That is the easiest thing. And you can see the 2 steels here on the front pillar, making that porch that sticks out. Now, interestingly, it won't stick out quite as much as the old barn used to, because the old barn wasn't true. And actually, we've pulled the front part of that barn forward by, well, a good foot, I guess. But we've just started today to have the front of that porch built, the old, what was actually the porch for the combine harvester. So all of that woodwork has gone in there. And then the other big thing that's happening down here is all the first fit electrics are starting to take nice shape. We've got cables hanging down from the ceilings. We've got cables channeled into the walls. We've got socket points and lots of stuff going on. All the things that you won't really see once the build is in place. But Sean, the electrician's been here quite a while now, doing lots and lots of work. let's take a wander up to the back of the barn. I wanted to just cover off, a few people had asked whether or not we were going to put solar panels on the back of the barn. I actually mentioned that in a video, oh man, a couple of years ago now, because I've got my car charger, and we did think about going or trying to go off grid because we're on oil-fired heating here, and we wanted to see if we could put solar panels on the back of the barn, put a Tesla Powerwall in, and then also maybe go to an air source heat pump. And we got quotes to do that. We very rapidly realized that the heat pump solution probably wasn't for us, but we thought, well, let's carry on thinking about having solar panels. It might be useful to take some or all of the barn off grid. It would be cheap to charge cars and so on. But honestly, the cost was just too prohibitive. With the amount of solar panels we'd need, if we were going to take the whole house off grid, the back part of that roof would need to have them on. And also we would have had to have solar panels on this bit of the roof here. With the solar panels and the Powerwall, we were looking at £25,000 there or thereabouts. If we chucked a heat pump in, it was going to be £30,000 to £35,000, and that is a lot of money. And honestly, we just couldn't get our heads around justifying the ROI. It wasn't going to add that kind of money to the price of the house. And I know it's the right thing to do environmentally, but if we didn't want to live here for the rest of our lives, if we wanted to sell the house, we're basically just throwing away 25 grand. So we've decided, for the moment anyway, not to go down the solar panel route. As the sun comes out, it's a perfect opportunity for me to show you around the hard work that's taken place at the top of this. A few people had also commented about how much of the old building we're taking away. I'd said I wanted to keep lots of the character. Big challenge we had with the roof was the timbers in the roof. A lot of them had woodworm, quite a few of them were rotten, and the roof itself was actually twisting and starting to fall down. So actually, had we not done this work, we would have needed to replace the roof anyway, it transpires, which is just as well, really. So let me just show you this. I think at the last time I spoke to camera, we looked at this rear retaining wall. The big difference now, you'll be able to see the steel work that's gone in. We've got a steel going all the way there. That is going to be the support for the roof on this elevation of the house. And then the old wall, the flint wall there, isn't going to support the roof at all. You can see the RSJ there is just placed on that plate. So there's no load on this wall at all. And that's a good thing because the actual structure of the top end of the wall with the flinting hasn't been great. I don't know whether you'll see, there's a kind of bend in it. Where this scaffolding was, by the way, the original wall finished here. So we've actually moved it that far in just to make it true and sound. And we've basically taken that flinting down and put it back again. And I know it looks like a slope, but the roof is going to come down. You won't be able to see that because it will be under the eaves and so on anyway. And then along here, we've totally replaced this course of bricks along here to make them good. And the timber work on top of those breeze blocks there, that is again the plate for the roof. And then if we come along to the front, again, a really good view here. You can see that red steel that goes all the way along the front of the barn. And that is now perfectly true. We've got a nice, perfectly square roof down there, along there, and then along there for the roof to be put on. And the roof is going on next week. And in fact, the roof will be on, certainly all of the joists will be on by the time I get back from my drive tour. So sadly, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to ask Tracy if she can get some filming done to show it going up. The big thing that needs to happen before then, though, and you can see this scaffolding just here, is we've still got a couple of bits of steel work to go up. We've basically got the ridge beam that goes along the top of the roof and then back down here, and that's supported by the goalpost. I think I talked about those in episode 1, which will be the door frame between the office and the gym space. So that they need to go in. They're not here yet. They'll hopefully get delivered later on this week. So lots and lots of things going on, but a really, really exciting space to see it. And I know the big old beams have all gone. By the way, a few people asked what we did with those. A few people suggested you could make furniture with them and so on. They've actually gone to the Goodwood Forestry estate, and they're going to be made into insect houses and places for wildlife to kind of thrive, which I think is really cool. So we've not sent them to landfill. They're actually going to go and be used on the estate, and they're going to be used for creating spaces where insects and bees and all of the kind of things that we need in the good outdoors can thrive. So I think that's really, really cool. But we are in the main roof, because we're going to have an open aspect roof inside. We are going to have some beams. We'll probably use some new green oak for that, because the old beams, much as we wanted to use them, they just weren't, unfortunately, up to it. They were just weren't. The outside had quite a bit of woodworm. The inside of them was okay, but we just wanted to make sure we used good timbers. So yeah, I know there's a lot of it gone, but and we're going to end up with a square, beautiful building. And a few of you said we should have used the older elements of the building more. Honestly, we would have done if we could have done. I think if we had, it would have added significant cost to the project. As it is, I'm sure you can imagine, the project is an expensive one anyway. Other things we've done today, one of my jobs today was to order the Velux windows. So we've basically got the old Veluxes there, completely knackered. So we're going to have some nice Veluxes here to look at that aspect from here. So yeah, very, very special. So I'm going to draw episode 4 to an end here, because it's a natural place. I'm now away for 8 days, and when I come back, things are going to look very, very different. But again, put any questions you've got in the comments section. I'll try and cover them as I go. There's a few things, few people were asking about stuff that will be covered later on. I think some people asked whether the carport part was going to be open or not. It will be enclosed with some doors. I'm going to talk about those nearer the time. And then all things upstairs, I'll talk in later episodes about how we're going to heat it and how we're going to put water in it and how we're going to light it and all of the important things. But for now, I'm going to draw that one to a close. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Petrol Ped for plenty more content to come. And I'll see you on the next episode of my dream garage. It's coming together really, really nicely, and I cannot wait to see it when I get back from my drive tour. You take care, guys. Drive safe.